So, Jason, what is TARTLEcast?
What is this TCAST?
The whole idea behind this, and lucky for us with technology and the onset of podcasting, allowed you and I to open up a platform, a medium, which people could freely access and learn, where they could be reminded of self-responsibility, reminded of what needs to be solved, reminded of where we are headed, a transparent and open dialogue about not only what TARTLE is doing, right, in and of itself inside of the business, but the effect it has on other people and what's going on with data in our world. We want to speak about the entire narrative of human existence and how forever into the future will be written by data. And so if you are an employee of TARTLE, if you are someone on the outside, what you hear and what you learn is the same as everybody else. It's not like half of the narrative or half of the truth. A half truth is given to one party and then half to the other. Everybody gets the full picture.
Yes.
And it's really important that not even our own, that not only people outside of TARTLE listen to it so they can become aware of TARTLE, and they're not forced to do it. They can choose to listen to it whenever they want. It's not like we're slamming an ad in front of their face, just like, blah, 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 TARTLE this, TARTLE that, sign up or else. But the individuals at TARTLE, the employees, listening to TARTLEcast is a constant reminder of mission, vision, principles, direction, what we are trying to do, what we are trying to accomplish. It constantly refreshes the creativity. It's these ideas. It sparks many things. This is the fountainhead of information. It comes right here from these two microphones, having these dialogues. It's having that message tested, reworked over and over and over, reforming of our own thoughts, because that also comes from a leadership standpoint. Right. Are we doing the right thing?
Right.
And that requires those dialogues. It allows people to actually be involved in these conversations of what we are doing.
Yeah, and I think it's so important as an employee of TARTLE, when you're listening to TCAST, we have this in our show notes, but not just for the listeners and the viewers that are out there, but this is for employees because we go over best practices
all the time.
We have walkthrough videos that are put in there, new things that are happening. That's very important. We have theory, and then we have technical functions of TARTLE.
Philosophies.
Tons of philosophy. So we talk about that and that's super important. If you're missing out on the philosophy of TARTLE, you're missing out on the whole idea of even working for TARTLE.
99% of the picture. The technology is 1%.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
The why of what is occurring is everything else.
And we're doing that every day. We're coming to you explaining that, like going through as we're working through this process and seeing these things and having people speak to us across 225 countries and share with us. We're sharing that back. And I think that's important as an employee, is that you're up to date. You're missing out on so much information by not understanding and listening to these. And this is a core curriculum of who we are as TARTLE. Yeah. And you are TARTLE. You are. It's not just an exchange of money for work.
Right.
You are TARTLE. You're part of this family.
You're part of everything.
This global family.
You need a pulse on the family, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The pulse happens here. And
well, there has to be communication, and we shut ourselves with social media and all the other technologies, we've shut ourselves away from that. Now, if you have Spotify, if you have Apple, if you have TuneIn, if you have Deezer or any of these, SoundCloud, whatever it may be, you have the opportunity to get the information. And maybe you're a graphic designer. Guess what? You get to hear the CEO multiple times a week talk about where you're working at. That's super important. We over communicate and we're over transparent.
Yeah.
To make sure that people understand exactly the direction and vision that needs to happen.
Because it may make sense to one person, but not to the other. So you got to say it a million times over in many different formats.
Yes. And that's what we do. We constantly.
It's a dialogue. People are like, corporations fail, but they fail because a lot of it is lack of communication. That's one thing we got going on in droves here.
Yes.
Is communication. So much communication going on.
Yeah. And so I think, to sum this up, I think the most important thing that you can understand, especially when it comes to TCAST, is we're here for you to evolve. Yeah. As a human.
This is not for you and me.
No.
The only reason you and I sit here putting hours in, I'm surprised my voice box hasn't given out, hours talking, is because we want people to find that little missing part of the puzzle piece. that they need for their whole thing. There's the sliver. I want people to find 1 inch of self-responsibility. I want to increase self-awareness. I want to elevate the human understanding. And it's not for my gain, because if you can help if you can do one thing here with these microphones that have a dramatic effect on the entire ecosystem, come on. That's not for you.
And it's so silly because we have this viewpoint that we have to externally go find, the emerald that's lost in this. But you're creating data. You're creating emeralds every single day.
The most valuable price, it has a price, but in the entire narrative of human existence, truth is priceless.
Yes.
Truth.
Right.
And if we look at everything we do and we finally collect that and we finally get a look back at it, that'll be the final puzzle piece for everything. Where humanity turns around, we're like, holy smokes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want people to literally just be like, you're just patting everybody on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I want fucking 225 countries just like, there's just so many high fives going around. It's nuts.
So I want you, I'm going to say something really quick, and then I want you to speak of how you can apply to be an employee, how you can be a part of the Tartle family globally, wherever we'd love to receive your resume, wherever you're at, and you see your work. But first, before I say that, in this onboarding process, right now we're giving you the choice. You're watching this video, but right now we're giving you the choice to pick whatever media you use, whether it's YouTube, maybe you want to watch video, whether it's Apple, Spotify, whatever it may be that you use. You click that button and you subscribe now.
Yeah.
And listen and understand and know. And you may be feeling, I really want to do that. But then you hear something that we're saying, you get part of the mission that you're sharing as a CEO. Next thing you know, like, oh, I could do this.
Light bulbs on.
This work I could do.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is a great idea I can share with the team.
Yep.
Because Alexander said this, and I'm seeing that now, so it's us going over and over again. We're just constantly reminding you of the mission, the vision of Tartle.
We're just a catalyst.
Yeah. And we're sharing new Big 7 ideas and everything. So this is why it's so important to listen to. But if you want to be a part of Tartle, how's the easiest way to do that?
Best way to do it is to email jobs@tartle.co. Tell us what you want to do. Tell us what we should be doing. We're interested. We want to hear it. We're willing to start that conversation. And just understand that us here on the microphones, us talking about this, listening as an employee, probably one of the better things you can do, because you're on top of the pulse. You know it better than anything else. There's many businesses out there, many, many, many businesses, where people never even get to talk to the executive staff. They don't have a fucking clue how they think. And it's very important that you understand intimately our personalities.
Yes.
And we've been ourselves, never not been. Okay, understanding our personalities, understanding how we think. Mm-hmm. Because if you can align with that, we're all going to align together. We're going to do magical things.
I mean, if you're an employee of Tartle, if you're not, our emails are online. So send me an email and say, I disagree with you on this, or I agree with you on this, or why did you say this, or how does this help me in my position?
Yeah.
Or Tartle, we'd love to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
You can Slack us, whatever.
Whatever you want to do. And by the way, if you want to be a guest on the show,
hit
us up.
Yeah, I would love it. So, one last question, because I think this is really, really important. When you're looking at TCAST, when we're looking at the future of Tartle, and we're in 225 countries, but as we keep growing and growing, what do you envision in the next 5-10 years? What do you envision the way that we communicate to the world? Whether it's through TCAST or however, the way that we communicate to the world. What is Tartle's not just mission and vision, but what is your impact you're hoping to have through these mediums?
Fox News, News Corp. It's paid. It's essentially just paid fake news. Mm-hmm. I would like to see Tartle talking about the stories and the wins of what has happened with data all day long, every single day, free of advertisement, completely backed by data. That's real news. Not something negative, not something defeating, but reality. Mm-hmm. All I want is for this to grow into something that doesn't shut down, and people can always tune in on their own time, whatever medium, to learn about the reality. to learn about these great advancements in human evolution, to take a look back into our past and take a step into our future. And that's how I see the vision of TCAST.